Hello, I'm David Martin from Tayside Bat Group, and I'm here in Lockey Park to take a bat walk up Balgay Hill. Now normally we would have you with us, but because of lockdown I'm going to be on my own, but hopefully I can bring bats to you wherever you happen to be. So let's head off. There are 17 different species of bats in the British Isles, but up here in Scotland we've only got 7 normal residents. Here in Dundee you'll probably only see 4, maybe 5 species at best. Here up on Balgay Hill there are bat boxes in these trees. These are typically occupied by pipistrelle bats, and those are probably the species that we'll see tonight. We might see another species or two, but probably just pipistrelles. The problem with looking for bats is typically it's dark and you can't see them. You might be able to catch 1 or 2 against the skyline, and we saw a few as we were heading up to the top of Balgay Hill. But in order to really tell they're there, you have to listen for them. And there's a problem with that, in that you can't hear bats, because typically bats are making a really loud noise, but at such a high pitch you can't hear them. So in order to be able to hear them and tell that they're there, you need to use a bat detector, and this is a very cheap bat detector, but it still works fine. And this will take the sounds that the bat makes, which we can't hear, and turn them into sounds that we can hear. So this kind of bat detector takes in the sound through the microphone here, and it mixes that sound with a particular frequency, and we can set that frequency with a knob here, or other detectors will have other buttons, controls to set that frequency. And when you mix the 2 frequencies together, this frequency and the sound that the bat makes, it turns it into something that we can hear. So we have to dial this to about the right frequency so we can hear a bat. For pipistrelles, that's going to be somewhere between 45 and 55 kilohertz. Now this is another kind of bat detector. This is a very specialised ultrasonic microphone, and it's feeding into an app on my mobile phone, and this shows me the shape of the sound that we're hearing. Each different species of bat will produce a different shape of sound, and we can then tell exactly which species they are. Oh, really nice feeding buzz. This is a common pipistrelle bat. You can see the sound signal stops at around 45 kilohertz. There we are, that's really good. But it's so dark here that you can't see them, but you can hear them. We've got a soprano pipistrelle here, Oh, and a feeding buzz. Listen carefully and you'll hear the sound get really close together as it hones in on an insect. Now this is a soprano pipistrelle. You can see the sound bar is stopping at 55 kilohertz, just above 55 kilohertz. Oh, that's a feeding buzz there as it homes in and eats an insect. And now we've got both species coming through together, both a soprano and a common pipistrelle. So those are the two species you'd expect to see up here on Balgay Hill. They're the most common species in the UK. The soprano pipistrelle is going to be the most common species that we see in Scotland. Right in front of my face there. Oh, there's some great moth capture here. Did you hear that squidge as it catches the insect? So we're just coming to the end of our bat walk now, and we've come out onto the edge of Balgay Hill, and you can see Dundee Law and Dundee spread out behind me here. We've seen a number of soprano and common pipistrelles tonight, just what we expected to see. Nothing else, but there's still plenty of bats around. Only really seen them flitting through the street lights occasionally, but yeah, we can hear them very well with the bat detectors. Hopefully once lockdown ends, you'll be able to come and join us on a bat walk, use a bat detector and see all sorts of different species of bats at the various different locations in Dundee.